Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Santa's Workshop. And when I say I'm getting out here before the sun is up, come on, focus. There you go. That sun ain't up yet. I beat it. But I want to talk to y'all a little bit this morning and give a few shout outs. And I know a lot of my older subscribers have noticed my new intro and my new music. Well, that music is all thanks to friends of mine. Eric Herndon, he was the main one behind these clips. I reached out to my musician friends from when I was in the theater, and he jumped on the bandwagon and just started sending me a bunch of songs, just instrumentals, that him, Van Williams, John McGaha, and Russell Pierce all did, just having jam sessions. And they are some phenomenal musicians. And I feel so proud to have their music exclusive on my channel. It is exclusively mine. I have the rights to use it. Thank you, Eric, Van, John, Russell. Guys, I'd like to get you all down here someday and just sit back and you bring your instruments and we just hear y'all play again live. I miss you. But another big shout out I want to do is to the patron of the Caballero. Now, I've had several of y'all send me parts. Thank you so much. They have really, really helped. But Jason S. has been the big supporter. Lawrence T., he was the first one to buy me something for the car. I love you, Lawrence. Miss you. But Jason, we're getting ready to get this thing fired up here within the next couple of months, so get ready for an invitation. But I plan on having a first start party. I want to get Monkey Rich, Mike, Randy, Jason S., Austin Graham. I wish I could get Austin Carr here, but he's too far away. Delbert, of course. Brian. Of course, Brian's going to be here. He's going to be the one helping me get it started. And just as many people that's had a part in this to be here as I can. And honestly, I could not have done this without my friends and you guys. So I am excited about getting this project wrapped up. I'm going to be working on the frame today. We're going to get that front end finish putting together. I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing to the rear axle. Probably get some rear axle video in this as well. But I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you to everybody out there. I mean, if it wasn't for y'all, I don't think any of this would have happened. But Mr. J's pickup, since the Volvo is now gone, Mr. J's pickup is going to start getting worked on quite a bit. I'm going to be pulling out the welder, getting it going. I've needed some parts for it. I finally got them. I want to get his frame rails welded on. We're going to get it pushed outside. We're going to get it a bath, get all the shop dust and any grime that's on it off. Then we're going to start working on the motor, getting everything hooked up, getting the body work done and primer. And it should come along fairly quick once I can get started. But the main thing is getting this heat out of the way. And because, you know, when you're out in the shop and that sun hits that side, it becomes an oven. And Everybody wants me to get it insulated and air conditioned. Well, insulated would be nice. Air conditioned, there ain't no way, because I couldn't afford the bill. I mean, I'm still only making $100 a month on YouTube. Maybe someday when I get up to Randy's spot, that will not be a problem. But for now, realistically, it ain't going to happen. But anyways, let's get busy. I want to show you a little bit what I want to do to the rear axle. Then we're going to get over there on that front end. So let's go look at that rear axle. All right, what I got going here is I've got this thing stripped down, and I sprayed my swivel hook. As you can see, it ran all the way right down exactly where I was wanting to weld. But I want to get my setup for my TIG welder so I can TIG weld this. Now I need to heat this cast before I start welding on it, but I'm going to weld up these tubes, and I'm going to re-weld their plugs because they didn't get them all filled in. But this is what I love about this swivel hook. You can just sit here and turn this thing, and I can sit in one spot and just rotate it as I weld. And of course, you know, I'll flip it over, do the other side when I get that done. Then I'm going to finish wire brushing, sanding it down, get it painted. And after it's painted, we're going to put our new carrier bearing in it, or carrier bearing. Limited slip carrier. That's what I meant to say. But we got all new bearings for it. Here's our bearings for our axles. Axles are sitting over there. I need to get them cleaned up. Yes, it is just a 10 bolt 7.5, but I will launch it a few times, but I am not going to tear it up. But right now, let's quit talking and get busy. Okay, now then, before I get started, I've got my everything laid out here. Got my tools up here. I got to tighten up the pitman arm. That is the one that come off the old car. And I wish I would have been filming how I had to get that thing off. It was hilarious. Oh, okay. It was scary, but hilarious. I had to cut the shaft coming out of the steering box because I could not get that thing to move. Pullers didn't work, heat didn't work, it would not move. So I cut it off, the shaft off, and took it over and put it in my press. When that thing popped out, that press comes 6 inches off the floor. That would have been a video now. But as I showed you in my last video, I kept all the old pieces together. That way I can see how we need to put them together. So with this, it shows me that, yep, I got it laid in the right orientation. So, okay, I want to quit talking. We're going to start putting this thing together. I'm going to put you on a time lapse because it's going to probably be just a lot of hammering and a lot of discussing. So let's get busy. Alright, this is typical Monday. I want to show y'all something, and I want to know if anybody else has had this problem. I've noticed the past few times I have put on tie rod ends, the shaft pulls all the way through to where that castle nut does not fit. Come on, right there. You can see I put a washer on behind it. But I have got another issue. my grease zerk is not going to clear the front cross member. I think this center link has got a sharper pitch right there than the factory one. Yeah, I know it does. So I am going to have to come up with a different center link before I can call this done. So we're going to stop that, and I want to get my daggum brake lines attached down, and then I want to go start shopping for a center link. Well, that did not go as planned, but we are better off for it. You can see the gap behind the grease zerks now. And those are not the grease zerks I had in it. I went and got some 90s and put in there so I could grease it. Now, several people have brought out a point. The inner tie rods are supposed to be on the edge. Grease zerk's supposed to be on the edge. This is Amazon company. I guess we get what we pay for. And I'll throw some pictures in here right now to show you the difference between the one I had on here and this one. But I want you to look how much straighter that looks. If I can get you in here. That looks correct. Now, I brought up something about the tie rod ends earlier in the video. I want you to look how far this is extended through. You can actually see part of the wedge shaft right there. On this one, I've already put washers on it. I had to stack 3 washers to get this nut to engage with the castle nut. In the comments, has anybody else come upon this problem? I've noticed it for the past several years since everything has started being going, made in China. Even at O'Reilly's and AutoZone and, our other, parts stores that we have available to us. Have y'all noticed this? I've just gotten to where I just buy a stack of washers and put them on there because, it's not going to mess with the integrity of it. It's just keeping that thing in the wedge there. But that's just so strange to me. You'd think they put a double nut in there or something, so you'd have an actual lock nut and then put in the pin. But I want to finish getting this thing together. I am debating whether or not to put wheels on this after I get it together or to let it sit. I've got the jack stands right there, and it's just a little bit front heavy now that I've got everything back on here. But I'm thinking about going ahead and putting wheels on it so I can drop the front end down. So when I put the rear end, it's a little bit more stable. But we're going to get this, finish tying this up. I probably won't do that on camera just because that's typical and boring and everything else. But I am definitely going to putting the brake lines on and the front sway bar on, and we'll come back with that. All right, we got everything tightened down. Everything is where it is supposed to be. Now I want to grab me a pair of lock grips. We're going to turn this thing so I can make sure I've got full travel. And what I want to do is I want to turn it to one side so we can do the brake line. Then I'll turn it to the other side, we'll do the other one, then I'll straighten it back up. But that looks so much better. I have not greased it yet. I'll probably wait until I get the body back on the frame. Then I'll lift it all up in the air where I can get to it a lot easier. But that'll be the final step, making this thing a rolling chassis. All right. Well, those brake lines turned out to be a booger, but I got them on there. Front lines are all tightened up. Ready to pump some fluid through the brakes. Looking pretty. I want to have to get some of that Sam spray wax and wipe down the front end after I get done. Make it look as nice as it looks. But last piece for the front end, our big old sway bar. And yes, I did get me one for the back end too. So we're going to get this thing put on. I may get my jack over here and reposition the I think I'm just going to put the jack underneath the center and just kind of help prop it up. And then we'll get this sway bar on, because I think I'm going to put that sway bar on, it's going to tilt the balance. But that's looking a lot better. So let's get this sway bar on, and we're going to call the front end done. Okie dokie. That's a wrap on the front end. Now, I still haven't got the bushings tightened down, because I can't do that until I get weight on the car. And I need the engine, transmission, body, all that on before I can tighten those down. But we got the brake lines all hooked up, tightened up. We got our calipers on the correct way. We got our sway bar on the correct way. Also, I know y'all will see in the time lapse where I had to whip it around. But all that's tightened down. All of our tie rod ends are tightened down. Now, things have not been greased yet. I want to wait till I get it up, get the body back on it and get it on the rack before I do that. But we had a big old scratch on it right here. I hit it with a little bit of satin black, took that completely out. Man, oh man, that thing is beautiful. As you can see, I painted my sway bar the charcoal gray. Matches up with the caps on the end. And back sway bar is painted the same. I'm probably going to paint the back rear end cover that same color. Thinking about getting some pinstriping done. And I may have them do the orange and green on the rear end cover. Don't know yet. Depends on what all happens between now and then. Turn the steering both directions. Everything clears just beautifully. You can see I got my turned down grease zerks on there like I showed you. Oh. But with that center link being a causal issue in this video. I'm not going to get on the rear end. But I decided I want to go ahead and get my TIG gas for my TIG welder. I got a prime weld plasma cutter TIG welder. It's not a high powered TIG, but it should be plenty enough for this. Got to get me some brake cleaner and clean that spray off of there. But I want to TIG those up, finish welding up the holes, that way it won't be leaking no more. Finish getting it cleaned up so we can get it put together. Oh, Mikey's Volvo's gone. Jim's truck, as soon as I get this bay cleaned up, I'm going to push it over here. We're going to roll it outside. We're going to get it washed. Hope to do that before the storms come in this weekend. If not, I'll hit it first of next week. Get a video done on it. And get it washed up, get it clean, so I can start sanding and doing some body work on it. And get some progress done on it. All I got to do on the frame is get the rear end done, get my wheels sandblasted and painted, get my tires on. I can make a rolling chassis. And I tell you what, I don't know about y'all, but that looks really, really nice. Sometimes I'll look at things and go, did I do that? There ain't no way I did that. But I didn't do it alone. I did it with a lot of friends. And without those friends, none of this would be happening. Well, guys, thank you for putting up with me in this video. We're going to get things going a lot quicker, a lot more when this weather cools down. It is about 9 o'clock in the morning. I am sweating bullets. It has been a day. But guys, we will see y'all next time. Please hit that like and subscribe on Santa's Workshop.